Well, hello, it's me, Coach Rosa, and I don't have my glasses on, so if I don't see your names, it's a little blurry, but I want to do a tapping sequence with you, so I figured it'd be better if I don't have the glasses on. Um, I have, I feel like well, it's been a week, but I feel like it's been longer since we've chatted, and I certainly haven't been doing it in my office in a while because I've been spending a couple weeks to go live when I was with Victor. So thank you for letting me share Victor with you. Um, this was to, first of all, this requires my attention, a lot of it, and I didn't want to dilute it down or have you miss out. Although I will tell you, uh, Dexter's cuddled up over here on me, so he's not interested in moving right now. He's got his head buried, but if he peeks up, that's what's going on. I want to do snap and tap with you, and I know that a lot of you have already been, I'm going to try to move this camera just a little bit. A lot of you have been on the videos for a while now. So if you've been on the videos for a while, you've seen snap and tap. I shared it with you. It's later into the program, and it was a general quick overview. But I want to do it again because it's so effective, and I've changed it up a little bit. Hey, good morning. So I've changed it up a little bit, and I thought I'd share with you how I've modified it. And it may not seem that different to you. Marion, good to see you. So it may not seem that different to you, but it is different. And I've been researching other programs that are tapping based and utilize thought field therapy, emotional freedom techniques, and plain old tapping. Everyone has their own term. And I've been wanting to do a snap and tap version and have been, but I haven't really formalized it. And you guys are my motivators, you're my muse. And so I've been putting things together to share with you. And this is really, really, really good as far as the effectiveness of it. And so I've also utilized another program I've recently discovered, which is the Neuro Tap Change Protocol, I think is what it's called. And it's really around interrupting patterns. So I've added some elements of that. And that's what I wanted to share with you. So what I want to share is the reason I also decided to amp this up and do some more tapping and work on me is I have had some things happen over the last month that have really brought back some very sad memories. And if you've read my book, you know I had a very troubled childhood. And so it's not easy for me to talk about. Thank you. It's easier for me to write about it than it is to actually talk about it. So you please don't share this video because I'm sharing this with you. And when I'm ready, I'll share more in this format with other people because I believe everything happens for a reason. And perhaps some of the things that occurred that led to this memory of this, trauma would serve others. And that's what I'm looking at and I believe that things happen for a reason. We are safe to address it when it does happen. And so I believe that God wouldn't put us in that situation unless we had the resources around us to be able to address it and deal with it. And you're far much stronger when something occurs that you have to deal with now than you were 20 years ago, let's say. And I know that's the case. So as a result, though, it was a very, very intense, let's say. It was intense for me because I didn't see that coming. I moved beyond it, so far beyond it, that I forgot really, and I forgave, and I just let it go. And on many levels, kind of just put it away and locked it up somewhere. And I did the work. I went to the counseling. I did everything I was supposed to do that I say I'm supposed to do. And then out of nowhere, after this situation occurred, it just like front and center, bam, there it is. I used everything I'm teaching you. And 3 weeks later, I'm able to talk about it without crying. And that's pretty amazing. It really is if you think about it. Because it's for me, it's still it's not resolved. This isn't resolved yet. It's on its way. And I'm going to look back on this, and I'm going to say that this was the best thing that ever happened to me. Even though at the moment what occurred is probably the worst thing that could have happened to me in I don't know, 30 years. And aside from anybody, of course, dying, that's the worst thing to happen. But I mean, somebody attacking me and saying some horrible things that brought up a lot of horrible things. Probably the most painful conversation that I've had in 30 years of my life, let's say. So that's how intense it was. That's how much it affected me. But what it did is it instantly, in the middle of the night, out of nowhere, just randomly, anytime driving my car, anytime my mind wasn't busy, bad memories popping back up, sad things popping back up, and then me getting upset about it. So I am, I have a great coach. I'm working with someone, so, don't worry, I'm taking care of me. But what I want you to know is everything I'm teaching you, the hypnosis, the self-hypnosis, the tapping, the changing limiting beliefs, all the processes, that's exactly what I do. I go back to the beginning. I start from square one. I go swapping these things out. I tap them out. I do all of it. I listen to my hypnosis sessions. I record them, or I get someone else to hypnotize me. I listen to affirmations. I post them all over the house. I change my image of me. I do a lot of these things. So I do the mirror work. That's what made me think of, I've got to remind you to do mirror work. And so it works. It really works. It's not just about the food, guys. It's about the feelings. Some of it is pure habit, and you've got to let go of the habits. Just swap out the habits. Other things are about the feelings, right? We're letting our feelings run us. We're letting our thoughts run us. And this snap and tap is going to help you break that. And so I want you to get to do this and do it so much over all your little things you find, all kinds of beliefs, all kinds of decisions, all kinds of negativity. Just do it. Run the drill, run the drill, run the drill, because it's literally changing your brain. I know it is. I felt the difference within just a couple of days of just religiously doing it, and I'm glad that I'm able to share it with you. So here's the drill. I'll show you just some of the things, and like I said, it's going to be familiar with you, but I want you to do it. So the first thing I want you to do is, when you catch this negative thought, or you have a belief, and maybe the negative belief is, I've tried this so many times, I've never been successful. Why would this time be any different? Now when you hear this, I want you to tap into that feeling for a moment. Let yourself feel the feeling, because that feels pretty crappy. What is that feeling? Disappointment, sad, frustration. Let yourself pick something while we do this, but I'll run through the drill. So now I have the thought, why would I be successful now? I've not done it before. Snap out of it, right? Stop. Snap out of it. And that's the signal to your brain. It's time to stop that drill. And then when we tap, I want you to first tap in the middle of your forehead, between those eyes, right? That middle eye sort of section. But while you're tapping there, this is telling your brain your intention for saying, this really upsets me. I feel really disappointed in myself. I don't complete what I start. I've never been successful before. The intention is to say to the brain, stop that drill. So here's the drill. I run through my head. I've never been successful before. Stop that one. That's what we're focusing on. And so that tapping on the forehead tells the brain, that's the drill. Stop it. Stop that drill now. Cease it. Let's change it with something better. Then we go into our tapping points. Unless you're driving. Now if you're driving, you can't do both sides. But if you're driving, I want you to do both sides. And we're going to condense this to so fast. I want it to be a quick drill for you. So in and out of the eyes, so you're taking two fingers, side, outside, inside. So you can do both, and you could whatever way you want. You can do 4 fingers, I don't care. But outside, inside of the brow, so you're tapping 2 points at once. And you're going to tap under the eyes, same time, under the nose and under the lips. Right? So now we covered all those things in 3 spots. And what we do for that part of the drill is we're saying what it is that we want to replace, right? And you almost can have what I would call, and they call this, I've heard this referred to as a rant. I always start these things and think I'm going to do well, and then I don't finish them. I'm so pissed off at myself. I'm so disappointed that I do this. That's all. Rant it out. Whatever it is that's attached to the drill, we need to stop. And I find when you free flow like that, whatever's really going on pops out of your mouth. If you don't want a free flow, or you're not ready for it, or you just don't understand it just yet, you're not getting the thoughts in your head, that's okay. You say things like, I'm not finishing when I start. I've tried to lose weight before and I've always gained it back. I don't know why this would be any different. You just pick a couple phrases that are associated with the drill. Okay? Now there, cleansing breath, just quick. Now we're going to this is the clavicle bone. We've done this before. This represents, if we look at the healing protocol one, it's really looking at your heart center. But what I want you to do is this is where we start letting it go. Let it go. And so that part of the drill is releasing it. We're freeing it out of our body. And so we're going to say, it's time to let that fear and belief go. I'm safe to let it go, and I'm going to release it with love. And so simple sentences. It's time to let it go. I am safe to let it go. I release it with love. As we tap on the club. And you're breathing in through your nose and exhaling through your mouth because you are letting this go. I let this go with love. You could say, it no longer serves me. I'm letting this go. Especially, it no longer serves me can help if you were at one time, it was protecting you. So I'm safe to let it go. It no longer serves me. I release it with love. And now this part is new, right? Now what you're going to do is you are going to symbolically let it go. Like, I'm letting it go. I'm washing my hands. It's done. I'm cleansing my soul of this. That's what I like to say. Now in Reiki, if you've done Reiki, and a lot of you have taught Reiki, you wash your hands between people. Every time you do a hands-on healing, you cleanse your hands. And you don't need to go wash your hands, but that's what I want you to think of. We cleanse our hands, right? We let go of that energy, and then we move on to new energy. And so I like to think of it as, because I'm very spiritual, so I will tell you with my let it go, I say I let go and I let God, because that is a sentence that works for me. So I'm safe to let it go. It's time to let it go. I release this with love. I let go. I let God. Those kind of sentences. Now we're letting it go, and I say, I'm cleansing my soul of this. I am cleansing my soul of it. And so I'm letting it go. Done with it. It's gone. Okay? Now we do a cleansing breath. We look up at the ceiling. We look down to the ground. Very slow cleansing breath. And I'm going to end in prayer pose, because this needs to replace the negative with the positive. And so we're gonna, and you do, this is my little anchor, but it works for me, and this is what I would encourage you to do. Try it. So we're gonna do a nice cleansing breath. And with your eyes closed, ending in prayer pose, I want you to say to yourself, first I want you to remember, take a deep breath, be in prayer pose. In this moment, all is well. Just realize, you guys, in this moment, this very moment, you're fine. It's okay. In this moment, all is well. That's right. Now I want you to also think, in this moment, all is well. I choose peace. And then I want you to say, and so it is. And so it is. And when you open your eyes, namaste. If you've ever done yoga, namaste is how we conclude a wonderful yoga session. And I would hope right now, I mean, we've only done we haven't even truly done the drill, a sense of peace can wash over you. And when you've done this a few times, then you might want to tap in your positive belief. I'm finding you almost don't even have to, because it starts to just emerge for you, right? It's funny, but I've noticed it. It's emerging. I don't even have to tap in a new belief. But what you do want is you want to have something that's a new belief for you when you've identified it, so that when you have to go snap, you go back, you replace that old belief. You say, we're tapping out of this. But when you go to that piece, I choose whatever that is. Instead, just let that be there. I choose for this to be the best thing that's ever happened to me. Yeah, I choose to feel peace in this moment instead of anxiety or whatever it is. Okay? And we'll talk about tapping the empowering belief. So let's do this together. Think of something you want to change. And it could be a belief about you. It could be a feeling. I've done it with the minor feelings, because when you're doing some serious change work, you'll know it's like popcorn. Don't feel like it's just you. It's all of us. But when you are doing this, there's an intense feeling, and then there's silly little self-talk that pops up. And the silly little self-talk, you remember, if you go down a rabbit hole, you're going to find a lot of silly little things, right, that you forgot about, and they're really gone. They don't matter anymore. But just go ahead, snap out of it, and let yourself say, that's that thought of this. It's so annoying. I remember where that came from. I'm letting it go. Just go through it. So pick a feeling right now, and then think of the feeling. Let's do this together. We'll run through, and we'll do it a little slower at first, and then we'll do it fast. So think of a feeling. Get there. Think about how, let yourself feel it. The better you feel it, the more the effective it's going to be. So get into it. And then stop, snap out of it. Tap the middle of your forehead, think of this feeling. And you might even say it out loud. No one can see you, even though I feel this way, right? Now we're going to run the drill of letting it go. Inside, outside the brows. Rant out loud of what you're feeling, what meaning are you giving this crap? Under the nose and under the lips. Good. Now stop. Quick breath. Let's go to the clavicle bone, and it's time to let it go. I am safe to let this go. It's time to let it go. I release it with love. Breathe in. Just let it go, guys. Now, wash your hands of it. I cleanse my soul of this. And then we're going to look up at the ceiling. Exhale very slowly as we go down towards the ground. And in prayer pose with your eyes closed, in this moment, all is well. I choose peace instead. And so it is. Open your eyes. Namaste. All right. How's that feel? Good. Okay, so let's do one more, and we'll do it faster. Let's say there's another thought. Think about the feeling. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you, Vicki. So think about the feeling. We're going to run through it again. I want you to think about a feeling you need to get rid of, and it's negative for you. And if it's the same feeling, did that feeling dullen? For me, when I do this, it's like somebody put like a fog in front of the memory. And when I look at it, it's further away and it's foggy. It's like off somewhere. I can barely see it. It's in London. It's behind all this fog, and I can't really see it. And then that neutralizes the negativity, and it allows me perspective. And hopefully Dexter won't go nuts because he hears his daddy outside. Say hi, Dexter. Hopefully he won't bark during this process. So we're going to think of the feeling. Don't knock over the camera. Sorry, guys. Think of the feeling you want to address. And we're going to go tap. Notice the feeling. Snap out of it. Snap out of that feeling. Now, this is the drill. Tap on your middle forehead to wake up your brain. This is the drill we're letting go of. So think of that feeling. and say it out loud. This feeling of, this belief of, this decision I made. That's what we're letting go of. Now we're going to tap outside the brows and inside the brows at the same time. And this feeling of whatever that is. And let yourself rant about it. What does that mean to you under the eyes? It means I'm not going to, whatever. And then under your nose. What is it? Repeat it out loud. This feeling of, this decision I made. Stop. Quick breath. We're letting it go. We're letting go of the negativity. Tap on the clavicle bone. Breathing in through your nose and out your mouth. And we're going to say, oh, it's time to let this go. Say it. I am safe to let go of this. I release it with love. That's right. Now, very nice deep breath, looking up at the ceiling with your eyes closed towards the ground, ending in prayer pose. As your eyes are closed in prayer pose. In this moment, all is well. I choose peace. And so it is. As you open your eyes. Namaste. Take a breath. Check in. How are you feeling? So it should get a lot further away, or dimmer, or less intense, just where you don't even remember the feeling. Sometimes people go, I must not have done that right because it doesn't bother me. And that's a great sign. That's perfect. When you are neutral or you sort of can't get there anymore, I don't know where it went, I'm telling you, this is it. This is the bomb. And listening to your affirmations, posting them around the house, listening to these hypnosis sessions I've recorded for you, and I'm going to do some more. I've got some ideas now, and I want you to just apply all of it, because you will see a major change in your brain. So now let's say we feel good and we're starting to get an idea of something else. Like, you know what? I am going to be successful. I will do this. If your belief was, I never succeeded before, or I've always gained back the weight. Well, this time is different. This time I am being realistic about what I'm doing, and I no longer choose food as a way to cope with things. And I will tell you guys, not comfort eating during this, I did some comfort eating, I'm not going to lie, but the Rosa 20 years ago would have been comfort eating, and I'd be up who knows how many pounds by now. It's easy to comfort eat when you have difficult times. And that was a decision I made a long time ago. I choose to address my feelings with other ways aside from food. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I'm not at all. I comfort eat. And I sure did the next day. But not nearly as bad as I would have. We're talking what? Like a panini? Something with carbs. It was nothing terrible. Just not using the same discretion, like saying, you know what, that looks good today, and I'm in the mood for something that tastes good, looks good, feels good, and I'm just going to let it go, and I'm going to love myself anyway. And to be able to do that and stay on track, that's a big accomplishment. And that's, I want you to not put yourself in situations that you are not going to be successful in. So think about, what do I have good self-control in? What can I walk away from? Or what's going to take me down, spin me out of control, a trigger food. Now that would be not the best idea. It's like being on a binge. You know, people that know if they have that drink, they're going to go back on it. You've got to stay away from those things. But things that are like going to help you, like you're in a situation that's all everyone's eating, you're going to eat what everyone else is eating, or else you don't eat, then you pick the less of the evils that are going on around you, as far as, do I want, this or that? What would help me stay in control more? But let's say the belief is, I have more self-control now. I know myself better. I know to avoid my triggers. I use a lot more discretion. I have better judgment. I have good habits. I have a great workout routine. I have 100 reasons why it will not be the way it was. I will succeed this time, right? Now, I will succeed this time. There's the sentence. There's the value of talking out loud while you do this. When you feel the ping, well, there's the sentence. I will succeed this time. So now when you look at the memory, you're going to look at the memory of, as the example we used in the beginning, I'm only going to get it back. This isn't going to work. It hasn't worked before. I will succeed this time. Write it down. Write it on your mirror. Write it everywhere. And then we start tapping. I will succeed this time. I will succeed this time. I will succeed this time. I am successful and I will succeed this time. And then, and now we just go right to prayer. I am successful. In this moment, all is well. And I choose peace. And so it is. That simple little affirmation. You don't need to tap or snap. You just go to your spot. So you don't need to wake up the subconscious mind to tell it, oh no, get rid of that. You want to say, I am successful. I'm successful. I did it. And just go through those quick drills and then integrate it. It's just those fast ones. I find that you don't even need to do it as much because just getting rid of the negative starts to smooth everything out, and then find a positive phrase instead so that when you need to swap the two out in your brain, you swap them out. Does that make sense? I hope so. This was a little free-flowing, and I'll probably refine it a little bit more, but I want your feedback because I mixed it up. I want to know how it's working for you. I'm telling you, it's really working great for me. And I think there's a lot of value. I think we're onto something with this Snap and Tap and the way we're refining it. And if you have something that's working for you, especially around this, let me know. Phrases that help. What you think, because you're my priority. I want to help you get to where you're going, and even if it's to be your cheerleader in your life, I'm okay with it. I so much love having you on my team and being part of it, and as in this group, we really should interact more in the group and help each other and share what's working. People feel isolated when they don't have that affirmation, so you're not alone, guys. All of you, you interact with me individually, and a lot of you do, through text messaging or questions, and everyone's got the same thing going, and I get my ideas from you. so tell me what's going on, and let me help you, and tell each other. Let's all do this together. So I hope this was helpful, and give me a check-in if you haven't already done so. Let me know how much weight you've lost, if you've lost weight recently. I know some of you are doing great. And I want to say this program is designed for the whole person, the whole life. Even if you reach your goal, it doesn't mean you need to bow out, because if you're a member for a year, you get to stay a member forever. And we address all areas of your life. So if you think, wow, I already did the weight part, maybe I should apply this to another part of my life, it's for that. That's what this is, a template for success. And what I did to lose weight is what I did to help me deal with a very difficult experience, and what I also did to help me at work, and what I also template I use in my relationship. I use the same template for everything. It works. That's why we do it. We don't need to change it that much. It's just changing the subject. Everything else stays the same. So I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend, and thank you for tuning in. I love you very, very much. And remember to do your Snap and Tap, okay? Love you. Bye-bye.